Anybody need to see this? A few copies?
So I would have one question that I wanted to ask him. What does the state consider is affordable income?
They go off the median income.
Huh?
They go off the median income on the county.
Yeah, but we just done this, they just done a study within the county that said what the average,
So there's a difference between median
I understand
and
that.
mean.
But if they
This
just done a
is the one
study in the
that's patterned
county
after.
that says the average home cost
Woodland Hills.
in Wasatch County is between $420,000 and $450,000, that don't fit anything he's talking about.
No.
Average and median though are two
What you
different
talked about was
things. You can't
300,
compare.
which is,
This is the one that's patterned after
Well,
Woodland
You,
Hills.
you can't compare average and median, so Gary, that's hard to do.
Oh, I know, but.
Because in an average, you could have one that was $1 trillion and all the others are low.
But in reality,
and your
we
average
don't
is
even, nobody in our valley fits that criteria that he was talking about as far as in the $300,000 range for a home. It's not there.
which I think is why he talked about the rentals,
Because
because it wasn't home ownership.
I know that's what he's saying. I mean, the school district just raised had truth and taxation, they just raised first-time teachers, first year out teaching, up to $42,000 or $43,000 for first year out of school. You know? So, and that was based on because they can't keep teachers. But in that same breath, they say, okay, the average home is now between $420,000 and $450,000. So it's 30% of $450,000 at $70,000 income. Yeah, 30%, it's not there.
Well, whatever that figure is when that comes out, yeah, but I understand exactly what you're saying.
But there's houses that are worth less below that average.
But the ones that are up here, way oversight to those that are.
Yeah.
I mean, and people that are living in these homes, he says, shouldn't be living in their homes? Well, if they choose to live in a modest home and they make $100,000, that's their choice. Nobody should be telling them they should be out of their
You're
house.
being punished for
But
being
that's-
frugal.
Anyone's proposing, they really do get.
Maybe my head just went circles, but I thought it was, I mean,
But that should count.
Perfect, that's what I was
It
talking
takes a
about.
lot of digestion and more than denied.
I ain't got
Give me
enough.
more on that.
No, if you look at that language,
Okay.
if you guys have any issues, just shoot me an email. I'll just adopt that like he said, marry those together.
So we have these two plans and
Yeah.
then what he gave us,
And what he gave you, because I knew the zoning, what we had as far as residential,
okay?
what we have as far as commercial, and what's allowed. Our three main residential zones, that we allow single-family dwellings in. So, and of course, the language in that speaks to the values that we have that he wouldn't know coming from outside.
I need to indicate that, I mean, it's like putting the whole state together and put both particular numbers tonight.
Yeah, and so I didn't go as far as to do the numbers, just because of what we had.
So is this a plan, Eric, that you're proposing we adopt?
I propose that,
These are the two in the top.
I propose that we marry it with the one Robert gave us tonight, the one Bob gave us, plug that in and use his format.
Sometimes you wonder.
At least have a template.
Just let it scale.
Eric, if you're
I believe
including
that's the average.
this new place that may or may not annex, it only has to be a plan, right? If it doesn't come to fruition, you still have a plan.
Yeah, and if you look at them 5 criteria, approximate. So they know you can't nail it down, it's just too fluid.
It's a moving target.
It is. Yeah, and it depends on what the developer wants to do, they have the right with their property. So you're still weighing all of those things, trying to make something work. And we can encourage it, there's a lot of municipalities out there that will give a 5% discount on their impact fee if they do affordable housing. The problem I seen with that is you grant them the 5%, they build it, and it's not affordable income. I didn't know about the deed restriction,
Yeah.
and whether that's held up in court, if that has actually taken place, and
But as of now, all you have to have is a plan to lessen that.
yes. And so basically the plan, they said we need this plan to apply for the grant. And so we're building a plan.
The thing where the gotcha comes though sometimes on that is now someone can come back and say, well, this in your plan,
So rezone
you
it.
say that all this is allowed in your plan, so follow your plan.
Well, he has already asked for that, and I'm not sure whether it was granted or not, if he were to annex, right? So I'm not sure that you're going off of your plan anyway,
Right.
that you.
Well,
have.
it was way too early, because he hasn't even disconnected yet, so
Right.
he's got a long ways to go.
Something down the road that's coming our
But
way.
if that didn't come to fruition, you at least,
We
Maybe
entertained it.
okay.
They can disconnect.
So I think what we need to do is marry those together, get that to the planning commission, have them look at that
That's not
In
gonna
2
happen
weeks.
very often.
in this next meeting. We'll have a meeting in November for the planning commission.
Yeah, so, or well, not 2 weeks, but your next planning.
Right,
Okay,
and then have planning give a recommendation to council.
perfect.
Thanks, Pam.
I looked all over the internet, and there are a lot of, I mean, it just goes down the list, everybody has them. They go from high to low, the one was Woodland Hills, but the other one is Midways. And so I tried to pick somebody locally, so a lot of those things would mesh. But I think Bob did a great job with it, with what he had. So, me and Bob's been on the other end of spectrums on quite a few meetings, so.
So you came together. You're merging. It's a beautiful thing.
Slowly
Yeah.
but surely.
Yeah, when he said, I didn't know you were here, I wouldn't have came.
I would just say beware of that warm fuzzy feeling.
Yeah.
And then quick.
So Eric, a lot of things in this document that we have is, really scare me.
Me too.
When it says like, on number 3, support voluntary inclusionary zoning in all subdivisions that has a moderate income element. Mitigate, or then encourage mixed-use developments. Support rehabilitation and redevelopment as appropriate. Lots of things are really heavy-handed here that are.
The state wants those things, but they're not saying we have to, we just need our
Well,
plan.
but if we
That's
don't
what the
grant
state
it, it's in
wants.
the plan, and
Crazy.
lawsuit after
Well, if
lawsuit.
you have it in your plan, you should designate an area for that. Just like I showed you that map where this was at. Designate that area. You've got a R1 zone on that side. Designate those areas.
But, in order to have,
Look at that.
Which side of the highway is this,
Well, this
On
way
the east
station.
side,
where all the other subdivisions are?
across, yeah.
Oh, okay.
how do you,
On
Duke Lane, a little
the
straight.
east side of
Yep.
40,
Yeah,
or, yeah, 40.
and we're gonna have to look at the other side because as an approved subdivision, they're all 1 acre lots. They was brought in as RA5, it makes it hard to meet the setbacks. As some of these applications come in, we have issues with meeting setbacks for a 5 acre parcel because they're on 1 acre.
so how do you deal with the sewer issue?
The sewer issue? There's no sewer issue. They either put in a septic or something with the county, but they're not hooking on to us. So there's a moratorium on sewer hookup up there, and water as a matter of fact.
But if you do a subdivision, it's got 20 half acre lots or something,
That's up to the developer. This guy that I just showed you the plan to, is running the numbers to run it up. He's looking at joining in with the neighbor to run the sewer line up, hooking into Twin Creeks, and run the sewer up there, which we encourage because that gives us a possible solution to the sewer system that the town owns.
the town owns, the town doesn't own a sewer system.
Yes, we do.
What is it?
Big one, up, big septic tanks.
Big septic tank.
They talked about it.
Property owners own them septic tanks.
Nope, when it goes bad, guess who's up there?
Oh, yeah, until you fix it, but
We
that's
pump
still,
it.
that's still property owner.
No, Storm Haven is us.
Oh, I'm talking about Storm Haven. I understand Storm Haven's collection, believe me.
Yeah.
My fingers have been in the business, you know, so.
The closer Twin Creeks gets to Storm Haven.
That was a good picture you painted for Barry.
Got a good giggle.
Well, I thought you would consider, in the big plan of things, you'd be looking like something down 3,000 south, there's a lot of acreage, and then turn that into a subdivision, and then what do you do? I mean, you can't.
I'll tell you the same answer I give most people. Under the current administration, that probably won't happen at this
Thank
time.
you. Just the word subdivision scares me.
So, that, at some point, this will change. So, thankfully,
I'm out of here.
Well, you see what happened in Charleston.
yep. Yeah, eventually the pressure will be there and things will change, but
You know, we're in a situation out in Charleston, I could see that arm bending, but it's been pretty hard, not because of the thought process maybe on this side, but just the mechanical, the physical side of all that, but anything can be done. At least it's harder over here to maybe get some of that
Follow
other
the
stuff
dog.
done. Yep. Anything
so anything you see on there, John, that you think is a big red flag, let's review it. Because we're gonna review that at planning, we'll send that back, and so,
So can you send this electronically?
yes,
You know, then I can just
Red line
make
or something.
suggestions or whatever and.
yes, I can do that.
Perfect.
Okay. Anything else on the housing plan?
Nope,
Okay.
isn't that what you told me to do? I'm doing what you told me to do.
Thank you, thank you. No, I think I got this. We'll move on to item number 5, which will be business licenses. So,
I have no renewals,
great, that was quick. No renewals and no new applications. Moving on to item number 6, planning department reports, violations and enforcement.
Planning report, it'll be really fast if you don't have any questions. No, I don't do it.
I forgot my letter.
We've got one more lesson, like you're finally got something.
I forgot it. I was running
Too
late.
bad, it's got split.
So is this a lot in Storm Haven that we've talked about that service on and off for a while, or is it a different service? Or is it a lot?
There's about 3 or 4 properties in Storm Haven that are for sale.
Right,
And some of them want to know what services are provided, what's not provided. And so those are the questions that we get, people trying to do their due diligence.
What's the property review on Neil, the Big Hollow Road?
They're looking at subdividing. They wanted to build on the back acreage of 8.5 acres. The number on that is 22,355 is the tax number on that. And it's 8.54 acres. The one in the front that the house is on is tax number 4352, which is 1.46 acres. So they wanted to build on the back property. So I had a call, I talked to the applicant, or future applicant, and we had a discussion about how they could do that. She wrote back an email and got absolutely everything I said. She heard what she wanted to hear. So I sent that back, I did a quick property search. That house of the 1.46 acres was turned over to the trust in August 2007. So I had to tell her that that's an illegal law, that was, the town does, we don't go review every single time somebody sells some property, we just can't do that, we don't have. But when they come for an application to build a house, then, and I explained to her that the burden of proof is on the applicant. They have to provide us with the proof that that's a legal law. From what I just gathered off of my quick search, that would be pretty hard to do. So she's at least doing their due diligence, most people buy it and then show up and then we have an issue.
Yeah.
Think you CC'd you on that?
So did the Webb Kohler work out a property agreement where that will work out?
No, the web,
Okay.
Susan Kohler is coming before the planning commission to see what options they can have.
Okay.
It's not worked out. They're not happy with the town. All I can say is here's the rules, this is what you gotta do, so
Okay.
I'll be the bad guy again.
Again.
The water line on Southfield, it's done, isn't it?
Almost,
But everything's gone, all the.
It is.
equipment
yeah, but we haven't hooked up the meters.
and-
We still have the final, well, Ryan's here. Ryan, update us.
Yeah, it is all but done. We still have to install the meters and there's a final cleanup. And there's a reason we haven't installed the meters.
So it is very near completion.
Yeah,
But it looks good. They did a good
The
job.
contractor's component of it is done. So it's just us finishing up a couple of things.
I saw your picture and that looked as clean and, you know, the afterwards, but great.
Oh,
They
yeah.
did a good job cleaning up.
In terms of cleaning up, it
Lawn
looks.
looked
Yeah, they
really
did a
great.
fantastic job there.
That looks-
And worked good with the neighbors.
Great.
Okay,
Okay,
are we happy?
moving on from planning.
It's not over.
Okay, we'll go on to item number 7, Daniel Municipal Water. Gary, we'll start with Daniel, if anything there particularly that you need to,
What we turned in, the leak at Tammy Lane.
okay?
Still kind of dealing with that lady there. She's not sure what's going on there yet, but we'll get to the bottom of it.
Usually do. Good,
Yeah.
okay. Any, council have any questions anything about Daniel Municipal?
How you want to tell them about your sanitary survey?
Oh, well, okay, yeah, it's not completed yet. Yeah. So on Friday, we met with the Tracy, with the Board of Health, do the sanitary survey. We've got that like 95% complete. We're waiting for a couple of things if we can find in the file as far as response plans, sampling site plans, all that kind of stuff. So, but that is done separate from payment.
Do you anticipate any headaches that,
I don't think so.
okay?
We only had one issue really, and Mike Duggan was there, took care of it before we even got finished.
Yeah,
We had
Mike,
pictures sent back with it fixed. I mean, it was,
kudos to Mike.
Yeah,
Called me on the phone
right
before I
on.
ever got, even got back to work and said, it's done.
yeah, pictures, here's the pictures, here's your proof. So he says, oh, it'll be 50 points, and it was like, it was done.
Mary, make sure you tell Mike all our smiles on our faces when we heard the news.
I certainly will.
And we thank him.
I think Mike wants to come back on board.
I bet he does.
I've heard that.
I'm really betting he does.
Kept sticking his keys in my pocket the whole time he was home.
I got a question on.
But-
the,
So moving on from there, our PRV valve
Okay.
on the corner of 3000 South and Daniel Road. Ryan's got us bid, they're supposed to put that in sometime next week, is that correct?
Yes.
To go, so it'll all be stainless. I think you guys have already seen the bid on it to do it. But,
And that's getting done here pretty quick.
Next week. So they'll have the last of the parts in. It's scheduled for delivery on Sunday, so they didn't want to promise anything.
Well, at least
next
before
week.
snow, and I think we got at least a week or two before any worse.
Yeah, so, but it'll all be replaced, so when the valve comes stock, it comes with a bunch of copper tubing, and then in some environments, the water and, you know, soils and everything work together and the copper corrodes. That seems to be the condition we've got here, so we're replacing all of it with a stainless steel kit. So hopefully this will be the last time we talk about the PRV in the meeting for a while.
Is it just a one-day project?
Yeah, a couple hours.
So does that come with, is there stainless steel regulators with that?
Yes. Yeah, so it's replacing the regulator, everything but the main valve body.
Because that's where it's coming right out of that thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's replacing everything, all of the little piping on there, except, you know, obviously not the main valve body.
Right. Okay, and do you have a date that they're gonna be up that we should we go pump it?
They don't, they've been told it's full of water, so Gary and I were talking about that. We can try to pump it early next week so that there's less water, or we can just let them pump it as part of their bid. They know there's water in it.
Tuesday,
Tuesday, do you think Tuesday?
I think that would be okay.
They should-
I
they
talked to
should-
Ryan about shutting that
Next week or this week?
regulator down.
Tomorrow?
So it doesn't fit,
I guess the water's
yeah.
first.
No, like a week. If I shut that regulator down, shutting it off, but then we would probably let the fire flow down. So I don't think we want to be.
If we shut it off, it's still wide open.
He thinks it probably could
Well,
shut.
well, If we we can shut off all those pipes and then force it wide open so we don't have any regulation. which is,
I think that's what we got now.
last time I looked, we still had some, but it was failing quickly.
In the vault, it shows some, but when we did the sanitary survey, we went high and low and put meters on taps.
And it's not changing?
It's
Okay.
high.
Because the alternative is we can shut the main PRV down and use the backup, that's why there's a backup there. But that's, I think it's a 3-inch instead of the 6-inch, and so what we would lose is fire flow from Daniel Road down, and that only scares me if we're gonna have a fire.
For 2 or 3 hours, in between those 2 or 3
So
hours.
for another week, I see no harm, just letting it go,
So,
Sounds like we have a plan.
I think.
Okay. Okay, so about Tuesday, I'll sneak over and pump that if you want me to.
Whatever, you know, I mean, I got a little pump like that, I'm not gonna make that big one, but.
It's up to you. I'll help where I can.
I was hoping to see what come about Monday from Ryan,
Okay.
but I was thinking maybe Tuesday, maybe they'd get on a Wednesday, but that's just a guess.
I'll let you know when I get
Some pump
the
in the generator.
Huh?
We have a sump
Yeah,
pump in the generator.
Right. So then,
Yeah, if anybody knows
so, based on the leak at Tammy Lane up in Storm Haven area, that part, that's gonna be, definitely that's gonna be an ongoing thing for, till, I know we'll never have enough money to actually go in and repair that right, so
Are
it's
we
just
getting a
gonna
few more
be a patch.
splinters after we're,
Pardon?
are we getting a few more splinters after we're repairing the section, or?
Well, it's scheduled 25, it's been in the ground 40 years. You know, all the ones that we've dug to this point have been galvanized pipe, and the galvanized has failed. That's all it is. I mean,
Okay.
so, I'm sure off-on doesn't help that scheduled 25 any, but there's no bedding or anything in any of that pipe.
Got a question on just the chlorine that's added to the culinary.
Yeah.
I know we're at the lowest setting, whatever that is, that we can federally do. What are we compared to like Midway or Heber, do we know, or Charleston?
You don't know that answer to that question.
I don't want to know that answer.
There's places in the valley that have a really tough time with the residual in the chlorine because of either how the system is or what they're doing. I mean, if we're passing our back T test and we're using the minimal, at least that's where I think we ought to be. If you guys think different.
I think that's worked well for
I
us.
don't know, that's all, I'm just wondering what it compares to what other people have to
Well,
put into theirs.
You know, Midway historically over the years have had problems with boil orders and problems, and then they chlorinate, and they get too much chlorination. I know there's other places, other areas that have problems with getting too high. You know, it'll be like, you know, we run 0.4, they'll be running up 0.8 or 1.0 or something like that, you know, so it's not nothing, they're like a swimming pool.
Yeah.
It's sometimes hard to get the residual in all of this part of the system.
Yeah.
Ours seems to do.
It just
very
depends
well.
on what's wrong. If something's wrong, it eats the chlorine up. So
Right.
that's why you just go to the end and make sure you have a residual and you know that it's doing its job. If it's gone, it's used up in the system, need to add more.
For
So
a
that's-
reason.
Right, it's there for a reason.
That's one of the advantages we have in our system, is if you measure it at the tank and you measure it at Eric's house at the end of the system, it's very close. To answer your question, Gary mentioned we maintain between 0.3 and 0.5 is our goal, and it varies a little bit, that's why we watch it. Other systems, it varies between like 2 and 0. The maximum allowed is 4, and there are systems that they have trouble because they want to dose it more than 4 to get it to have 0 at the end. And so we're maintaining the 0.4, and some systems are, 2 plus. So
More good news.
Yeah.
on the amount of
Good job.
chlorine we use, before the old system with the old pump house, we were going through one of those big chlorine bottles every 6 months or so. They're now lasting about 2.5 years.
Wow, great.
Well, but before every gallon that would come out of the spring was being chlorinated. Now that's not the case. Only chlorination is what goes to the tank. And then there is no chlorination in Storm Haven.
There's multiple factors on that chlorine savings, but it's still a pretty impressive savings.
Yeah. Good, thank you.
Any questions? We were talking about Daniel Mill.
I think you Shelley wanted to
Oh, I'm sorry.
talk about the Daniel.
Are they still talking about?
We're still talking about Daniel Moore.
Yeah, I haven't moved on to Storm Haven yet.
Okay.
Thank you.
Since we're having problems with people paying, I worked out with Polaris to do these shut-off notices, and I'm hoping I'll give it to Gary to see if this is, I just need you to go over it, look at the, and see if this is what you're looking for to get sent out. I think you probably want that changed to minor Gary's phone number. Okay, and then each month we'll get who's over 45 days, and it comes in a form like this. And so I'll make sure Gary gets this.
Do you need one of them, right? You're good?
Sorry.
Good.
I'll make sure Gary gets this. So when the time is shut off, like on that, it gives it a specific date of that it's being, their water's gonna be turned. Just like the lights, the gas, you know, it gives them a time. And so I'll give this to Gary within probably a day of the termination. So he'll know if they have paid or if they haven't paid. Is this what you guys want to happen? Because right now we don't have that other than Gary going and saying, you're not paid.
I think for me, I love it and think it sounds great, and I think that
And it'll fit right in the envelopes, just like the billing.
it's not confusing, it's not.
So you're thinking you're mailing this out to the customer?
Yeah, I mail this out to the customer, the shut-off notice, and then this, the only one that'll see it is Gary.
Oh, yeah, this is the report of
But
everybody
this
that's
is
over.
just showing, so this is what Gary will see, and then Gary, it'll be up to you to go shut them off. Is that something you're interested in?
Oh, yeah, definitely, but previous, number of years back, it was 50 on, 50 off.
Okay, that's why I just did this thing, because I need to know exactly what needs to be said, so I can fix that.
Yeah.
Because I like on the telephone number, I don't think Mary wants to be pushed
Yeah,
with all
that's an
these
actual
calls.
order bill.
And so Polaris had just put her number down, and I was guessing at the grid connection fee, because I couldn't find any paperwork in all the papers I have of how much it is. So it's 50 on and 50 off. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so if you see, and is there anything else I need to fix? I'm just looking at.
So the other, on that, I think it's supposed to say self-connect as a misdemeanor. You might want to explain what that means. Because we have a lot of people in the town with a wrench.
Okay.
No kidding.
They'll do it themselves.
Right, like on Daniel Road
So I
last
believe
year.
that's what to say, is that if you go in and just turn it on yourself, that's not, you know, you're not gonna save 50 bucks.
I was gonna say 50 bucks. It probably will cost you quite a bit.
Exactly.
Explain the plan.
Gary, do you feel all right as far as his layout? I mean, not necessarily size of font, I mean,
Yeah.
it's the wording and just whatever.
Yeah,
Like I said, I've been working with Kevin at Polaris since 9 o'clock this morning. And so he's the one that come up with this. I kind of just gave him basically, we need a shut-off notice. What can we do? And he's like, well, you don't have one. I said, I know, we need one. What can we do to stop this? And then he's like, well, you got some really high bills. And I'm like, we need a shut-off notice because you guys are saying shut these people off, but we can't, I don't think we can just send Gary and say, go shut them off without notice. So
No,
if they get
no.
this, saying you're coming, then they have notice, right?
They'll still say they didn't get this, but.
Should that, maybe put
Well-
that bigger, that shut off?
Are you planning on setting these registered or not
Yeah,
registered?
I'd say
we
it's up to you. You guys tell me if you want them registered or if you want this done. How
Chip,
you
the
want it
city
done.
does not send these registered.
I'm just
They
asking.
send them, what they
I
do
would
is they
agree.
send them, the original bill is on one color, or on a white copy, and then when the city sends them out, they're on a canary yellow or bright pink
There you
or
go.
whatever.
Okay, there you go.
And I have,
So is that okay with you? Is that what you're looking for?
well, yeah, I mean.
Because this makes it work for
Generally what I
you.
do anyway, you know, is, I personally contact them, you know, if it's gonna be a shut off, we generally put padlock on it.
Okay.
How many are there, just out of curiosity?
Pardon?
23, I think, is what it said, is what we had, that's 45 days. And then, you know, most of those are more than 45 days. So,
Better part of.
okay, so you want this shut off, and do you want this on different color? when we send out the shut-off notice, you want to print it on something that
I
different,
think it
brighter?
brings attention.
You know, I have to say, I like the idea. I mean, everything's normal unless you're got behind and we have a yellow, I don't care what color you like,
Okay.
the same color from whatever, when you start, use the same color from that on.
Okay,
Some people
all right.
have colorful personalities and you're gonna know.
Okay, so all we have is telephones, 50 on, 50 off, and explain the self-connect,
Make a bigger print on that shut off.
and shut off, bigger print.
Yeah.
Okay,
It is what it is.
all right.
Can I just make an observation?
Yes.
I see you're struggling with the same things we struggled with 4 years ago, and this is awesome. Way back, didn't we also have like a hang tag or something that you put on the door?
We did.
So that,
We thought and on
yeah,
doorknobs and
instead of
tape
sending
and.
registered letters, and so we've tried a lot of things, but Shelley, great idea.
Well, I just
Same
hear every
problems.
month, what can we do, what can we do?
We had this all before, but it just never was come
And
together.
Polaris said they would come up with something to just hand out on the door, but I don't have time to do that. And I don't think Gary has time to do that, to take him out. And that's why I'm like, no,
This
I
is
just want to
appropriate.
mail them. That gives them their, by then their 45 days is up. It gives them 10 days to respond, get it paid, and then I can, call Gary or give him the paper saying, these guys haven't responded.
Bottom line, people know that's busy. You don't pay your insurance, guess
Yeah.
what? You've got no insurance.
Well, and
You
I
don't
think
pay
they're
something,
used
it's
to not worrying about it. Well, they're really not gonna shut me off.
off. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we're really serious.
You got the letter.
Okay, is that what we're doing? Sound good, Gary? Okay.
Gary's your man.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought Gary's the one that has to turn your water off. Okay,
They'll
know when their water's off.
What's hard is, the billing process and everything we send out, and they see it, and it's got the usage on it, it's got the overusage, it's got the whole ball of wax, but we still have people that say, well, you didn't contact me that I had overusage, and so, the mentality is, sometimes you gotta help yourself.
It needs to be a separate document from away from a detailed bill.
And I've changed the deadline. Sorry.
Somebody said,
yes.
I got a comment on that
Did
already.
you?
From the
Okay.
end of the month to the
Yeah.
15th of the month.
Because what I'm
I already got
finding.
calls on that.
Yeah, we moved the deadline after talking to the mayor
read their
to the
bill.
15th of the month, because it was at the end of the month. Except if your check, I was getting calls that people would send their checks and say that they sent them out on the very end of the month, but I wouldn't get them till the 5th. And then they get mad because they got service charged.
Because Polaris puts one on automatically.
Exactly.
Because it goes over the date, so bam, and it sends them.
And so we're,
First
the
of
only
month,
way,
it gets the new
yeah.
readings, there it says the fee if it's not paid.
So they're not gonna get, they're not gonna get finance charge till the end of the month. But they don't know that.
And that's why we moved it up to
Yeah.
help them not.
Yes, I'm helping them try not to get this. We're gonna not put any, fees on till the end of the month. They'll have that, but hopefully they get them in. So we changed that, and I don't know, they probably didn't like that, but,
I guess
yeah.
I've already had phone calls.
Yeah.
Saying, what's the deal here? And I said, well, let me think about it for a minute.
yeah.
So there's 15-day grace period.
There is, and so, like I said, I talked to the mayor about it, asked, could we do this, because it was just causing havoc. People believed that due date was on the 30th, the last day, and then their new bill was due by the 1st. So they're like, this doesn't make sense to me, and I'm like, okay. And then I have my bills out within 2 days after I get the thing, the readings. I don't holding them for 5 to 10 days. I have them out so people have these immediately. So I think that's the only thing I had a question
They
was.
went up today, didn't they?
They went out, nope, they went out on the 2nd.
On Friday.
Yeah. Yep, they all went
Wonder
out.
if I got so much response.
Yeah. No, they're out, sorry, I'm on top of that.
Thank you, Shelley.
Thanks.
And so that gives them their 45 days, they get the 30 and the 15 as the 45 days.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you have some other,
Well, we're just trying to take the decision making out of it and just, it's really easy to just either show the rule of the town and put it on council and just run a little.
hopefully this helps you, Gary.
Well, I've always been skeptical about shutting one off in the middle of winter, but that's, we had a policy, we was gonna have current October, March, whatever.
Yeah.
We're
We've
fairly-
tried everything, we're trying something new.
Yeah.
And I think unless they come and talk to you, they won't be put on, right? If they come and talk to you, I'll have it highlighted that they've come and talked to council, if council approves something.
Yeah, and so
You
Gary,
know.
if something comes up, it'll be probably like last time, and we'd deal with it that way. We should give it 1 month probably, depending on when they contacted you, so we still wanna leave that for somebody. but, yeah.
So what do you think we should do about that particular one, Eric?
Which one?
Just up the road from me.
I thought that one was
Oh.
already shut off.
Is it the one that I gave you all the samples of?
No,
Yeah.
the one that was,
Oh.
we put it on payment plans, but you can't, if you don't, you can't play catch up if you keep using too much water.
Are we talking about the house on the corner, or the second house in, that
Just up the road.
that we
from
worked
me
with them
across
last
the
month
road,
or 2 months
Weaver
ago?
Park.
I worked with them back in August.
Right,
She,
but
she didn't
She's,
use,
she's making payments.
yeah, and she didn't use, very, she only went over, what, like 4,000 this time?
Yeah.
So she's made
So
2
something's
payments last
changed.
month. Already. So I
So
don't,
my question, I guess, was there a time when that had to be completed? Or is it just an ongoing payment?
she just, I don't even know what is she on here?
She is,
She's out on usage.
Oh, right there.
What's the over usage there, Gary? I mean,
Anything over 20,000 gallons.
oh, I know those numbers, but was she watering something?
It-
Do we need, does she have a leak that we all need to help her
She's
with?
fixed some leaks, she's done other things, she has a grandson that tends to leave the water on and running, and the
Okay.
no freeze hydrant running cracked. I mean, there's all kinds of issues, but
I just wonder if there's anything we need to help her with
we
as a.
tried, honestly.
Okay,
We have really tried.
okay,
Kim and I went over there a number of times and said, you can do this, you can do that, but,
okay.
So the answer is she's making progress.
okay.
We're not going downhill.
But she's not gonna get the water shut off.
No, she's
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 already made
ahead.
a plan,
Yep,
okay,
she's well ahead of the curve.
okay.
And she did make a plan, I mean, she's not.
Yeah, and she's
She
held,
made a plan.
she's held her into the bargain.
Yep.
So the
and
other
something
one,
has changed, because she has changed.
the other one, Aubrey, I think that's the highest one we have, isn't it?
It is,
The worst case scenario.
He's worked, they got it down to 19, I think 19,000,
this is as of,
usage.
oh, I was gonna say
Good,
this.
so he's,
Not dollars.
Okay, all right,
Look at the big cat.
I was worried.
so there's a bunch of leaks on there, it's had vacant for a while, and he's just working through it. But
Well,
that's a big bill.
they're on the short stroke now, because you don't put the, pay the money, shut off. And
Yeah.
he knows it. I
That'll
tried to talk
stop
to him
the
the other day,
leak.
but he wouldn't come to the door. He's sitting in his lorry, and he's sitting on his phone talking, and I knocked on the door, and he kinda goes, looked back and
Didn't give a crap.
Yeah.
didn't care what I was doing. I didn't think he'd be that way, but
But maybe
I
when
had
he
to
gets,
respond.
maybe when he gets one of these, he'll respond.
Well,
Turn
let's
the
hope
key
so.
and he'll
It's
call
just
Turn
you.
the
going
water on, yeah. Oh,
Wow, thanks Gary.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking the heat.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hey,
you're
it's
awesome.
okay.
You
Still
did
looking great,
awesome.
so
Yeah.
hasn't affected you too bad.
No, no.
You're probably as popular as I am.
When you wanna visit me down there at the Provo area down there, you know, just bring a cookie or something.
He did good, because I had a guy that, oh, his thing was $5,000. And I called him and said, Gary, this guy's usage is,
Oh.
his bill is $5,000. I think we have a problem, well, I think
We do have.
the meter was going backwards or something. I don't know what was wrong with
For
it.
some reason, from Storm Haven through Tammy Lane and now down to Crazy Acres, for some reason, we'll create some kind of, and, because we don't have anti-backflow on all those meters up there, on all the setters. So this guy's went, when we read it, it was negative 80.
sounds like crap.
So a number like that goes in Polaris and it come out, what, you say
Yeah, $5,000. I was like-
$5,000. So,
900
come to find out, you know, those are the things we have to catch, even though it's on the thumb drive, they get from doing the readings, you have to catch that, or it comes in as a whacked out number.
So
Don't
apparently
know-
that well's better than you think.
Yeah. We're not sure why it's doing that. Some of the ones that continue for a couple of months, we put a resetter in them with an anti-backflow, and then it moves somewhere else.
Wow.
It's just weird, I don't know.
Might be in the code.
Yeah.
Throwing in the code as a program.
Oh, no, it's an actual thing.
We think it's real, that it's the meter going backwards, but.
Really?
But the code, as far as what it does when you have, November is 10 gallons less than October, Polaris assumes that it rolled.
Right.
So,
Yeah, that was 900,000 gallons.
because our old software would have just said, well, it's -10 and issued the, the minimum bill, but
Yeah.
Polaris is smarter, and usually it would be right, so that we don't have to deal with meters rolling, but.
We had it multiple times at that Graceland down in Storm Haven.
Uh-huh.
We put a resetter in there with and it went away from there, but then a few months later, it came, said it popped up somewhere else.
Was it the meter itself?
Okay, so we had a couple things on, just quickly before we leave, Ryan, on the sanitary survey. They wanted our source protection. There was, what were the other things that they want, Gary?
The sampling site plan,
Sampling site plan, backflow,
emergency response.
prevention plan, an emergency response plan. Do you have all those?
Yes.
Okay. Are you getting those to?
Gary and I talked about it, we'll take care of it.
Oh, perfect.
One way or the other, we'll make sure it gets done.
Okay.
And wasn't that source protection plan done a while ago? For-
Yeah, it was updated recently. And that one I know I have, because we're using,
And then
part of the new well, we have to make a new source protection plan, so we're copying and pasting.
And then did you tell Ryan about the county's plans to open a lab here?
Oh, no, I hadn't told him that yet, no, I hadn't got to that, no. The county's gonna try to do their they can do back T here, now and now they're gonna try to do, what was it,
Hmm.
like lead copper, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That-
Heavy metal.
Heavy metals,
Still
is
going
what I'm
on.
trying to find, but I don't know was.
Poor Gary had to put up with me all day Friday, can you tell?
Oh. He's thinking hard, fast.
Good alternative method at this point, I mean, they're just coming on board, you know.
Right.
They
Any
want
discussion?
somebody to help pay for their cost.
Anything else worth on Storm Haven? Okay.
Yeah, I think that. What did our bill come to?
For the fix,
For the re-
it was like 2,600 for the fix on our part, and I don't know what it cost her.
Well, I bet a lot, they went clear all the way back, so.
And then whatever I turned in and Val turned in, there's like a total of, what, 5, 4, 9 hours.
Okay, did we take care of our bedding?
Yes.
She's got the thing to do it, but what I would request is maybe I would like to hand deliver that check to them instead of put it in the mail. I mean, they were really good to work with us on that. In the long run, it's
They were just below the break, so they had good incentive.
they still got a part of the file there, but I mean, we used their little Kubota tractor, so. that's-
Yeah, knowing our luck, they would have still been a problem for some reason.
Yeah, yeah.
Good.
Oh, that'd be awesome, Gary.
$2,600.
That'd be awesome if you deliver that and tell them
Well, yeah,
how great that is. That's awesome. And like I said, we'll replace their bedding if they need us to. Whatever.
well, we found out what the load cost, and so we paid a percentage of what we used, plus
Did we?
for the
Okay.
use of
So we'll be square with them? Okay, super.
Good.
Can't ask for anything better.
Okay. Storm Haven. Moving on to item number 9, which would be approval of council minutes on October 1st, 2018.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I would like to, before these minutes are approved, use the Robert's Rules of Order and change my vote on the general plan.
Okay. That would be your vote on the public hearing or
On the approval of the general plan,
approval of the general plan, okay?
yes.
And so we have not approved the meeting minutes. You're gonna change your vote, which would then, what would, we have a vote of, we voted on that and what that vote might have been?
I don't know what the vote was, but I know I was the second on it.
All in
All
favor?
members in favor?
Okay, so the second then, and that's gonna be changed, we don't have a second, so we open that back up, or make a new motion this evening, or?
Good.
The lady who bought the
Yeah, you can make a new motion. I would
I'll
like to continue it.
get you the ORTD.
Continue the master plan discussion
The
and
general
public
plan,
hearing.
yeah,
Old money.
Public hearing, excuse me.
yeah.
She's still, I thought she
Yeah,
paid
our whole
that.
review, we had the public hearing, I'd just like to continue the general plan.
Are you making that motion?
I'm not, I'm changing my
So
vote,
do you
and
want
so
me
we
to
have to
call
vote and turn that down. I
The
just have to
title
do that
company and
prior.
say, "Do want
You have to
me
be on the
send
winning
this bill
side,
since it was there?"
prevailing side of the vote, and then of
So
course
is
it's
it
done before the
properly
minutes
sold?
are
I don't know.
approved.
Hold a motion to
Do you
approve.
know who the title company is?
That's why I
Yeah.
need a motion.
There you
And
go.
I got a warranty deed, but it's not been recorded.
Yeah.
Because it's
Well, I make a motion for
And then on the-
reconsideration of the
on the
possible
thing,
approval of general plan.
notes, like the whole property, they left some out. It's weird, areas of it, because they put it in different way. Why are they doing this? I don't
Second.
why
First
they
and
did
second,
Well,
any
the only thing-
discussion on
I mean,
that?
I know we
Yeah.
talked
There's what you're,
about putting a line on the property.
We have a component right now that we're building that needs to be in that general
And
plan.
the dealer would call us and say, is there money owed on this? And so I
Okay, so we had discussion, we had a first and a second,
notify the title company.
all in favor? Aye.
Another one
Any
here
opposed?
is up there, and I can see
Votes changed.
Moving on. He's got.
Recorder's office, warrant approvals, announcements, etc. Under that heading, we have Gilbert and Stewart, who does our audit each year, that we have communicated with, I believe, I'll let Mary talk about that, but they just haven't got back to us on the engagement letter. And then we also have the tentative 2019 meeting schedule that we have to
Exactly,
go
so
through.
this one, like I said, the other one, not the title company's name, I said, I said, I know, I can't.
So we need to still approve right now, then.
He's trying to pay off, or she's his bills, and he told me how this might be, so can I please just get your title company?
Okay,
They know what I do.
sorry, I was moving forward. Is Cheryl take a motion to either
Call me and said,
continue the
would you remind me?
discussion on the,
Minutes,
So she
minus
made
this
copy of
motion.
it, but it says it's
I just wanted a motion, so
recorded,
we need
so
one more
they're
motion.
just renting it out.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Okay? Have a motion.
Sounds a little fishy.
It does,
Need a
the
second?
there's looked at that.
Any discussion on
Because he was
that?
just like, why have they took out
All in
some
favor?
stuff? I'm like,
Aye.
It's where,
There's something else going on
Change it,
there,
obviously.
I think.
okay, so I have permission to call the title
Sure,
company
just, yeah,
and
just
say, where do you want me to do with this last bill? You guys
All right,
should
now
have,
to that time over here.
if that's okay with you, then I will contact them.
That sounds good.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, holding that motion.
Okay,
I need that, I just need this to
So,
hold to
one quick
whatever you
thing.
get. No big
well,
worry.
two things. LGN,
Not this one.
Anything that's
Larson Ground
150
Fence,
bucks or
they
more,
have
whatever,
agreed
what was it, they
to
come up,
do
council,
snow
2 months?
removal this year,
Oh,
and they've
3
agreed
months is
that they
70.
will continue for the
No,
next
35
year
to 35, so that's 70. So, that's what we got, that's like 2 months in the rear.
Second thing, GDA got this to me late, so it's not on the warrants, but it is the final payment, correct?
Yes.
For the 1,200.
Yes, so
South
that's the
South
close
or
on.
1,200 west.
They don't work for us.
Yeah, this is the one I gave you.
Who?
Oh,
GDA.
I know, but it's for
I'll be-
counterpoint.
But when did it come
no,
in?
not already ring.
After 3 o'clock today, so I just need to possibly have
It's
this
the other one.
for approval.
And it's for,
This is the one
It's for
I would send
counterpoint
out
construction for the
immediately.
1,200
for
west.
the
I didn't
water.
line. What
Yes.
percentage are we at
Yeah,
now?
is that what you want?
It'll be
That's it, so that
100%.
works.
100%? We was at 43 last time.
Yeah.
They
45,
bill is and how much
960,
their
20
past
is what we
bill
paid.
is.
This invoice is
I got
for
my check sitting in my order, or I just haven't dropped it off to you. I just saw it.
59
We're
what?
doing 100%.
59,000.
So they're done, they've cleaned up, the remaining things we talked about were outside of their scope.
So we're pressure tested everything.
Yeah, if that's the pressure test, it passed the back T test, it's for all intents and purposes online.
I just been signing the check and dropping it in the box.
Okay.
And so I apologize, I thought we got that out, we
So
didn't.
anyways, so that's, if that's okay.
So do you need a motion to include it?
Yeah, this has the
When we
ones.
approve, yes, please.
Motion to include the billing,
That's
or
just
what, who that, who was it?
Center Point,
Center Point
I
Construction?
mean, but that's a lot of money on.
Do you have a motion? that includes Center Point Construction's latest invoice.
Counterpoint.
Well,
Counterpoint, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Counterpoint,
I'm
Counterpoint.
really upset.
We have a
Almost
second.
shut off that night.
We have a first and a second, any discussion
He's
on
never ignored me before, and he said, they'll pay it.
warrants or
But he's been,
anything else?
And so what's the
It's
total
hard for
amount?
them to find somebody to get their water off. That's all I'm saying. I mean, and I understand if it wasn't the fact that they had not been paying the bill for long, I mean,
So we did have a first and second?
it's all, you know, the vision on it's all the overage.
Some
Make the motion.
Some
You made the
motion.
motion?
I made the motion to include it on your warrant.
No, his is
Second.
19, it's something. It's the real minor places down, they still leaks. He was
And then we did have, we had a little discussion, clarify any other discussion?
19,000.
If not, all in favor, minute, or excuse me, warrant, aye? Any
Johnny
opposed?
Wilson.
It's John.
Warrant approved?
Johnny Wilson.
That wasn't on the warrant, that was just adding it to the warrant.
There you go.
Good.
That was added into the warrant.
He's
Okay,
got a leak.
yeah, I'm not letting Larry out
I said
there.
he was right on it, he called me, hey.
Okay,
So before
Comcast for the office
I
phone,
got a forecast, okay, I'll hurry and run down there,
rent
still
200, again this month, we never
He's
received
got
any
two
service
side
from
rents.
Emerson.
One's an automatic, one's
Staples, this was for a new recorder,
Horse just,
because
you know, dips its
the
head
other
in
one
and it
decided
fills
to
it
die.
out, so.
Daniels Irrigation, this is an annual assessment for $251. Public notice.
For how many shares?
14,000 gallon over.
Is that over, Sheriff?
So he's like 34,000.
18,
Let me know if I need to.
15, 16?
Or how you want it.
Yeah.
I make technicians to thank you guys for doing such a good job.
Oh, nice. That's a first.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I appreciate you taking the time, I know that you have long days
She
like
wanted
I
to hold
do.
off another paper.
Peanut butter chocolate chip, gluten
The end of the
free.
month, we can see what happens.
Thank you.
So I have a.
That's it, we're staying all night.
That he can call. weekly
22.
If he wants to hire somebody. to come do it.
22,
22 and one business is what it shows.
22 in one business, is there a higher fee for a
I don't
business?
think we need to buy
Yes,
some.
$10.50
Just
is for the regular
And it's
assessment,
worked, I've
and
used
then
it,
the
but
business is
sometimes it
$20.
works, sometimes it doesn't. Especially if you don't know the leak.
Oh, wow. Well, that's an interesting thing.
They're doing, I'm just getting cents.
I don't know what their cost of business.
I'm sure it's Mike Peterson, but I don't understand.
Yeah, I didn't see that, I mean, I was
I
talking
don't
around.
know that.
That's exactly what I want.
I guess we'll have to look into it, okay.
So,
And then like I
See,
said,
Moving
that's way better
on,
than
Wasatch
that.
Wade,
Oh,
public notice from McAllister's.
this will fit right in
Geo
Easy, all-
Engineers,
Here,
I have no
I
idea
don't
if I'm
want
saying this
cookies.
name correct. Sinus, 165, Anger, 257.50, Neps,
Yeah.
382.50, Kohler's, 60, planning invoice was 1,232.50, engineering, 370, McCombs, 1,178.75, and then Flores quarterly billing for 500. Public Works hours, we have quarterly glue stakes again for 40.49, and then Mountain Land Supply, this was for hydrant fire markers, or plow markers, 174.25. We have council payroll, commission payroll. Daniel Municipal, CenturyLink, this is the data charge, 47.75. Heber Light and Power, 367.44. Chemtech Ford, $20 for testing. TO Engineering for the engineering, $1,811.25. Sampling, $90. Staples, this was for a replacement zip drive, $9.55. Walmart, this was for the file boxes, $20.91. And then Hicken Oxygen. So apparently, just so you guys understand, I don't know what they're doing with their billing.
Who's that? Higgin?
Hicken Oxygen, they had sent a bill, we paid it 2 months ago. Well, then all of a sudden I get this statement with this balance. I went back through, looked at everything, called them, and I'm not understanding where you're coming up with, we still owe you this amount. This is what the bill was, this is what we paid. Well, apparently, whoever did their billing didn't figure it out correctly. So we had to go back and repay an additional amount because they didn't have it figured correct.
So,
That's what the $5.56 is.
quick question, we don't buy the oxygen from them, do we? It's nitrogen,
Huh?
nitrogen.
Well, it's Hicken Oxygen is the company.
Oh, I
That's
thought
who
you
we're
said we
paying.
bought oxygen from them.
No.
No.
No, 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 no.
And
No,
Okay.
Hicken Oxygen, yeah, whatever it was, they didn't calculate the bill right, so we still had a balance due. Municipal payroll, Stormhaven Water, Dominion Energy 907, Heber Light and Power 167.75, Chemtech Ford $40, Walmart, again, this is the other half of the file and file boxes for $20.91. Laughlin Water Association, this is for WellTech spec, $2,560. $834. TO Engineering for engineering, $2,560. Sampling, $60. Power equipment rental, this was a submersible pump. That was for that
Yep.
same one up Stormhaven, correct? It
Yep.
was another $2. Kirk Nearing, $2,620.40. And then Preston Sessions, that's for the gravel and tractor for $135. And then again payrolls.
Okay. Any discussion? And we did make that motion for the counterpoint 59,946.80 to be added to it. So the chair will entertain a motion for the full adoption of the warrants.
So moved.
I second it.
So motion and a second, in discussion? Not, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, Mary.
Okay, one last
Oh,
thing,
yeah, A and B.
guys. I went through the calendar and came up with a tentative schedule for, tentative schedule for next year. Does anybody have any issues with dates? I tried to make sure, like
Same
4th of
first
July
Mondays of each
didn't-
month, but the holidays.
Yeah, just tried to make sure like 4th of July wasn't close to Monday, et cetera.
April Fool's Day.
Well, and even that July 1, we can keep it for tonight, but that can get changed just because that weekend, we usually get, what, the 10th maybe or something after that, depending.
Yeah.
We can leave it for now and then change it if we have to. Unless someone wants
It's good news, we're still only meeting once a month.
to.
And September 2nd isn't Labor Day?
I'll bet it is.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, because otherwise it'd be the 9th.
So that would be an obvious one to change maybe to the next week. So we can
Yeah.
still probably approve this with maybe that date,
Great.
Change.
Or do you want to move it to a different day altogether, or do you want it on Monday?
Just following Monday's work
So
estimate.
September 9th?
I would agree.
Yeah.
You said 9th?
Yeah, does that work?
Yep.
You'll have to check and make sure the building's available.
Yes, and that's why I handed this out first, just to make sure everybody was good with it. I'll check with her tomorrow and finalize it.
Awesome, I like it.
Have you had anybody, well, I guess it was probably already adopted, but Mary, when you were scheduling the room or whoever back when, did this room ever get booked? I mean, we've been booking it now for so many years, wouldn't they know we're gonna keep booking it kind of thing, I guess my question.
We did have a conflict occasionally, but they generally, were available.
Okay. Didn't know how. As things get busy around here, I'm sure rooms get more occupied, so. Okay, Chair will entertain a motion to adopt the tentative meeting dates with September to being changed to the 9th.
Do you want to adopt that yet without knowing if we're gonna?
I would-
said tentative.
It just, if it works out, if you can get them all scheduled, then it'd be
Then just
adopted, you
go
can just
ahead.
get, just get it. If not, then we can discuss what changes, but I'll bet you most, if not, will be approved.
Gary's got something.
Yes.
You can do it after vote, but I'm just curious, what would the town require if somebody was to donate? How much property would they need to donate in order to make a town facility? Well, I mean, how much you got?
Got 5 acre minimum?
That's a loaded question, but that's, every ear perked up.
Well, I'm just saying, there is possibly somebody that would donate, probably only an acre, I don't know if that's acceptable or. I mean, anything's better than nothing,
Yeah.
but then the next question would be, where would we how would we go about getting funding to build a building?
So depending on the building, there's certain funds, so I just got out of that CDBG grant situation, and that would be one source for sure, ourselves and other things, but that would be
Keep it up
something.
here,
maybe-
Wasatch County will probably help us.
Yep.
So an acre would be okay, half acre, or what do you
I
think?
think it all depends where it's at, right?
Well,